6 p.m. in Bafoussam, that is in the northwest region of the country, and same time right here in the economic capital city, Douala. Good evening, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on today's edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast. For presentation, I am Immaculate Fogwe. A 30-year-old pregnant woman has been shot dead by a gendarme officer at the Malfour Okoyong mixed control post. Her killing provoked an outburst from the population who say they are tired of the continuous atrocities committed in their land. Circumstances that led to the death of the 30-year-old will be explained in this edition of the news. And 4 humanitarian workers have been held hostage by unidentified armed men suspected to be Boko Haram fighters in Mora, far north region of the country. The 4 were kidnapped while they were returning from a humanitarian mission in Yeme, that is in the far north region of the country. And now to sports. And in sports, Cameroon's Minister of Sports and Civic Education, Professor Nancy Mwele-Kombe, assures players that all issues related to bonuses have been settled. He encouraged players to give their best while assuring them of the support of the entire nation. Those are major stories. Stay with us for details and more. We begin this edition with sports, as Cameroon's Minister of Sports and Physical Education has declared that all issues related to bonuses of the indomitable lions have been settled by the government. Chief Professor Nassis Mwele-Kombe spoke to Equinoxe TV's special envoy to Côte d'Ivoire as he stopped at the Felix Houphouët-Boigny Training Institute to encourage the indomitable lions who were having their second training session since their arrival in Côte d'Ivoire. Our special reporter on special assignment, Smaji Kangebel, has the details.
On a new turf at the south end of the Felix Houphouët-Boigny Training Institute, the indomitable lions of Cameroon had their second training session since arriving the political capital of Côte d'Ivoire, Yamoussoukro. The session that was done under the supervision of the head coach, Rigobert Sombanak, was coordinated by the fitness coach of the national team. At one end, the players were drilled on ball conservation and short passes, while at the other end, the goalkeeper's trainer, Sulemanu, was taking care of the 3 goalkeepers present, Fabrice Ondwaebogo, Davis Epasi, and Simon Ngapadunubu. Few minutes after the start of the training session, the unexpected arrival of the Minister of Sports and Physical Education on the training pitch. The minister confirms on Equinoxe television's microphone that issues of bonuses won't be heard within the camp. I can assure you that all has been done at the level of the government under the supervision of the Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Diongute, in collaboration with the Ministry of Sports to ensure that bonuses of the Lions are paid before the start of the tournament. During the interview with Equinoxe TV, Sports Minister was clear about their expectations. Our hope is for Cameroon to show up herself. The indomitable Lions should roar and give the best of themselves by accomplishing the mission they were assigned by the head of state through the message from the Director of Cabinet at the Presidency, Samuel Mvondo Ayolo, during the flag handing ceremony. If all players were spotted on the field during the training session, it was only Frank Magri of FC Toulouse, who didn't join the team earlier on in Jeddah, that was doing some catch-up exercise.
And now let's head directly to Côte d'Ivoire, where our reporters are currently on standby, and they'll be giving us latest updates of what is happening over there in Yamoussoukro. Hello, Smart. What's newsy about the competition today? Our reporters Smaji Gabriel and Ike Cyril are currently on standby, and they will be giving us latest updates as far as the competition is preparing itself.
Good evening to you, Immaculate Fogwe. You're welcome to the Charles Konabani Stadium, the annex, where from behind you notice that the Teranga Lions, who are the defending champions of the African Nations Cup that they won in Cameroon, are having their training session. It is a special training session for them. Remember, each team, since they arrived here, they have been having some some warm-up sessions, but of course, this should be one of the most serious sessions that they are having. And to tell you that the whole team is complete. We have the likes of Sadio Mane, the team captain, Kalilou Koulibaly. We have the likes of Edouard Mendy and a host of other players who make up the team, the Teranga Lions. And we shall watch this training session briefly from here. Then we'll hand over the microphone and, of course, to you out there in Douala, Cameroon. And you must have noticed that from right behind, the players are more determined than you know. Before coming to this Nations Cup, the president of Senegal, Macky Sall, told them that if they return with the trophy, their bonuses will be increased. And you must have noticed also that the Teranga Lions are one of those teams that have been chosen or seen like the team that will retain the trophy at the end of the day. And as we are telling you, a host of journalists are present out here at the Shalko Bani Stadium Annex as they watch the Teranga Lions train out here. It will be their official training site, and you noticed from the images you're having that the players are steadily taking their positions, how they will be playing with the ball. You know, first of all, it's important for these players to get used to the ball and conserve the ball. As we watched the Lions, the indomitable Lions trained yesterday, it is the same with the Teranga Lions side, who will be having some training sessions with the fitness coach who will be taking care of the players. And as I mentioned, the ball first is what is important. They need to know how to do short passes and conservation of ball. So that is just the exercise that they'll be having. But at the far end, you notice that the goalkeepers coach is also with the goalkeepers, and one of them, the key person there that most of you in Cameroon will know so much, is Edouard Mendy. Edouard Mendy, who had a good time with Chelsea before moving to the Arab world, where he's currently playing now football. And you notice that in most of the training sessions, the coaches are not the ones who determine what the players do. The coaches are having their own time to watch from a distance what the fitness coaches are doing. So now you notice Sadio Mane, he's the one who is jogging, and many people have been asking why Sadio Mane came here when we know so much that it's not been long that he got married. But it's something that is good, and many people feel that he is really a patriotic citizen of Senegal. So the training session here, we have 15 minutes of the training session to broadcast, and of course after 15 minutes, journalists who are here covering this training session of Senegal will be asked to move out. And we've also noticed one player of Senegal who is not really with the team. He is having a special jogging session. Definitely he was not with the team when they started their training sessions out there in Senegal. Remember, Senegal is one of the African nations that actually did not go out of their own country for their preparatory phase of the African Nations Cup. They stayed in Senegal, did all of their preparations, played one friendly match that we know it was difficult for them to beat Niger, but it ended 1-0. So they are here now, and they are hoping to go back with the cup at the end of the day. The training sessions just began, and of course the muscles need to be up to date and have to be fit for the upcoming games. Senegal is in the same group of Cameroon. Don't forget, they are playing with Cameroon, and we have Gambia and Guinea. And to know that all team Cameroon's opponents in Cote d'Ivoire, Yamoussoukro in particular, they are already in town. That is it, Immaculate Fogwe. That is just what is happening out here at the Charles Konan Bani Stadium, the annex, where you are receiving live images from this end. Immaculate Fogwe, we shall be giving you more details concerning this training session and any other information that we gather at the end of this training session. We have Emmanuel Job, who is taking care of the camera this evening, and I'm Smart Chicken Gabriel on special assignment at the Charles Konan Bani Stadium. We are in Yamoussoukro, Cote d'Ivoire, for Equinoxe Television News.
Thanks a bunch, Smajic and Gabriel, for those latest updates coming up from Yamoussoukro. And still in sports, the supporters of Guinea believe that their team can surprise many sports lovers at the African Nations Cup. The supporters of the Sili national team were at the Charles Konan Bani Stadium earlier today to get themselves acquainted with the stadium on which the team will be playing. Guinea is Cameroon's first Group C stage opponents come January 15, 2024. Once more, Smajic and Gabriel reports.
Supporters of the Sili National of Guinea invade the Conan Banning Stadium of Yamoussoukro, Côte d'Ivoire. These fans, who covered long distances to Côte d'Ivoire to give support to their country, say they are in Côte d'Ivoire to clinch the AFCON trophy. The distance we have covered to come to Côte d'Ivoire to support our team is not for any failure. We have come to win the trophy. We are not afraid of Senegal nor Cameroon. We shall win the cup. The confident supporters of Guinea gave reasons why they believe they are favourites to win the cup. We are very confident because we defeated Nigeria recently. We showed that we are competent. We are more than the other teams playing in the tournament. We have come to get the trophy. We are here in our numbers to support the Sili National. We are found in the group of death, but we respect our opponents. We are confident about ourselves. If we left at the 8th final in the last edition, our ambitions is to go further this year. Just like in any other team participating at the tournament, supporters believe in one player who can be a dream breaker for others in the group. We are here to win the trophy, and it's just a single player who will cause the damage for Cameroon and Senegal. He will create sensation during this competition. He is Gourasey. We should be careful about him. Guinea, lodged in Group C, will start the AFCON campaign against Cameroon on January 15, 2024 at the Conan Banning Stadium of Yamoussoukro.
In the same vein, the dress code of some participating teams at the 34th edition of the African Nations Cup has given another face value to the Saucer Festival, whose opening ceremony has been fixed for January 13, 2024. The Kente outfit of Ghana has been rated as the best so far. Smagic and Gabriel in the following report presents some of the outfits used by most African teams present in Côte d'Ivoire.
The African Nations Cup have hit fever pitch, with all 24 teams arriving Côte d'Ivoire before the January 13 kick-off. Defending champions Senegal are sure to meet stiff resistance from FIFA World Cup semi-finalists Morocco, most crowned African team in the tournament, Egypt, and host Côte d'Ivoire. But even before hostilities start on the pitch, many teams proudly showcased their fashion sense upon their arrival in Côte d'Ivoire. A couple of teams outdid themselves with sophisticated and classy wear. The indomitable Lions of Cameroon had a simple black attire with the flag in the front and the neck area. The Sili National of Guinea had a traditional West African outfit without their national colors. The Gambia arrived Côte d'Ivoire with a simple kaftan having prints of their country's flag in the middle. The defending African champion Senegal went for an all-white attire with shades of the country's national colors. The Super Eagles rock a white and slightly green kaftan outfit. The attire was made complete with caps of similar colors. Definitely, the most outstanding attire was that of Ghana. The four-time African champions wore their traditional Kente outfit over white shorts and shirts, with every delegation member wearing a white watch.
And now back to base. A 30-year-old woman has been killed in Mamfe, minor division of the Southwest region. Sources say she was killed by a gendarme officer at the Okoyong Mixed Control Post. Her killing provoked an outburst from the local population, who say they are tired of the suffering inflicted on them in the crisis-stricken region. Formi Armstrong Sender reports.
The unfortunate incident that vividly turned bloody at the Okoyong Mixed Control Post in Mamfe, the Manu division of the Southwest region of Cameroon, cost the life of 30-year-old Tangwa Bernice, a pregnant woman. Out in search of her daily bread, the young woman got shot on the head by a gendarmerie officer, according to local sources. Same sources say that the gendarmerie officer aimed at immobilizing a car that failed to stop and be controlled when his bullet caught the young lady. The incident provoked an outburst from the local population and family members who stormed the area and streets of Manfe in protest and disapproval of the act. Further sources say that road control agents who were present at the mixed control post at the moment were called for interrogation, and further investigations are ongoing for due sanctions. The lifeless body of Bernice has been placed at the mortuary of the New Life Hospital in Manfe. Manfe, the Manu division, remains one of the localities that have had the worst of the armed conflict in the Anglophone northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. Last November 6, 2023, over 30 people were killed in an armed attack at the Ebeko New layout in Manfe.
Still talking about insecurity, but this time around in the Fana region, 4 humanitarian workers have been kidnapped by unidentified armed individuals in Mora, a locality in the Marisava division, by some armed men reported to be Boko Haram fighters. They were returning from Yeme, where they went to offer humanitarian aid to the needy population. Innocent Aze tells us more.
It is the end of the road for these 4 suspected bandits accused of stealing motorbikes in different localities of the Lom and Jerem division, east region of the country. They were arrested by officials of the anti-criminal unit of the East Gendarmerie Legion.
We
have dissolved a group of bandits specialized in the stealing of motorbikes, who after the operations take the bikes to Garabulai, where they sell to neighboring country of Central Africa. 2 other suspects of human bone traffickers were apprehended in the same operation launched by the East Gendarmerie Legion.
Un groupe de malfrats.
They were on their way to sell the human bones. After they were arrested and auditioned, they confessed to have dug a grave in Baminyanda, Belabo division. The 2 young people were caught in the possession of human skeletons that were packaged and ready to be sold in the black market. A situation that made the forces of law and order to call the attention of the population.
Nous détenons.
We are calling on the population to collaborate with us and to inform us of any suspected case.
Nous sollicitons que la population nous saisit à tout moment.
The suspected bandits shall be presented before the court in the days ahead for further investigations.
That was Radha Malaglari reporting on the arrest of 2 bandits and also human bone traffickers in that part of the country. Away from that, 4 humanitarian workers have been kidnapped by unidentified armed individuals suspected to be Boko Haram fighters in Mora, Marisava division of the Far North region. They were returning from Yeme, where they went to offer humanitarian aid to the needy population. Innocent Aze tells us more.
The 4 personnel of the humanitarian non-governmental organization Premier Urgence International, kidnapped by unidentified armed men around Yeme, are Alfred Etubu, Janabo Gambo, Tendofue Cabrel, and Ahmad Ali, driver. They left Marwa Wednesday morning on board a pickup vehicle heading to Yeme in Mora, Mayosava division. They went to grant assistance to children suffering from malnutrition and for distribution of humanitarian kits to the population. After a long and tiring day, the humanitarians and the driver got abducted on their way back by a group of armed individuals not identified. It is still unclear if they are linked to the Boko Haram terrorist group. The vehicle was found hours later by some locals who alerted the Rapid Intervention Battalion B. Immediately, they descended to the scene for a rescue operation. No official statement has been made on the kidnapping. The kidnappers have not yet demanded a ransom. Mora is one of the localities in the Far North region hardest hit by the Boko Haram hostilities, with rampant hostage taking in certain areas.
And over to religion, bishops in Cameroon call on the population to desist from the practice of same-sex relationship. The message was echoed during the 47th Annual Episcopal Conference taking place in Marwa, Far North region. The men of God say this is against the deontology of the Catholic Church. Asia Lucilienko reports.
Unanimously, Catholic bishops in Cameroon, at the top of their voices, continue to condemn the blessing of homosexual relationships. The bishop will state that on no account will homosexuality be accepted by the church. According to His Grace Andrew Kea, bishops in Cameroon say no, it is not accepted by the church in Cameroon, and with the declaration of bishops, it is strictly forbidden for a bishop to bless homosexual relationships. The men of God were speaking during the 47th Annual Episcopal Conference in Marwa, Far North region. They stressed on the respect of the deontological ethics in the Catholic Church. His Grace Samuel Kleda, Archbishop of Douala, calls on all who have intentions of following this sinful path to desist. He adds that if everyone becomes a homosexual, if a man gets married to a man, and vice versa, it means it is the end of the world. On the occasion of the 47th Annual Episcopal Conference, the bishop will make a pilgrimage following the footsteps of Baba Simon in Tokumbere, a priest beatified on May 20, 2023 by Pope Francis.
And now we talk health. New cholera cases have emerged in some regions of Cameroon, including the Littoral region. During an advocacy and awareness meeting held in Douala, health authorities of the Littoral region urged the population to respect hygiene measures and also so as to limit the number of infections. Details with our reporter, Cedric Chakutio.
According to statistics given by the World Health Organization, there were 21,000 suspected cases of cholera, thus 987 confirmed and 498 deaths since the beginning of the epidemic in 2021. In the Littoral region, according to experts and medical doctors, the ongoing cholera outbreaks in the region can be attributed to several risk factors, which are the wide circulation of vibrio cholera in the country, limited access to drinking water in certain localities, inadequate water sanitation and hygiene, a situation which worries authorities of the region who during a meeting of sensitization gave some measures taken by the government to limit the propagation of cholera in the area. The Secretary General at the Littoral Regional Governor's Office says the vaccination process of last year 2023 did not have the results wanted.
Après avoir écouté le bilan de l'année 2023, nous avons constaté
after making the points of 2023 results, we can conclude that we did not reach our objective, which was 80% of eradication of this cholera.
Pas atteint l'objectif recherché qui est de 80% dans notre région.
Says they will be organizing vaccination campaign, this to eradicate the cholera.
Nous serons informés le moment venu en temps opportun. Pour le moment, il y a un programme bien.
We are going to organize vaccination campaigns in the days coming.
Pour notre région, on va mettre en place. Dès qu'on a ce programme, nous allons procéder à la sensibilisation.
And this time, we will try to attain our objective.
À toutes les personnes susceptibles d'être vaccinées soient vaccinées en bonnes conditions.
While waiting for the campaign, local authorities assures the population that they will do all they can in order to fight against cholera.
And now back to sports. A new media center has been inaugurated by officials of the African Football Confederation in Trenchville, a locality in Côte d'Ivoire. This center will provide the media, including broadcasters and photographers, a unique working environment during the AFCON competition. Details with our reporter, Cedric Chakutio.
2024 African Cup of Nations in Côte d'Ivoire, a principal media center was inaugurated earlier on the 11th of January 2024. Situated in Trenchville at Abidjan, this center was inaugurated by authorities of the locality the African Football Confederation Committee, and the Côte d'Ivoire AFCON Committee.
On a essayé de regrouper tout ce qui est.
We tried having every material needed by a journalist.
Le grand centre.
You have here the principal section for medias, and on this side the accreditation section, and also the conference room.
Vous avez la salle de
Not forgetting a relaxation section where every journalist can relax while having a lunch.
de réservation des journalistes.
For the Minister of Communication in Côte d'Ivoire, who came for a visit at the center, it is a center that will ease communication between teams and media organs.
Il est important de s'assurer que tout marche.
It is very important to see if everything works. I came here to visit the conference room and check if the journalists are well treated.
Mise aussi à la disposition de la presse.
Note should be made that it is the very first time a media center is constructed for the African Cup of Nations. Having just been inaugurated, international media organs have settled and started working to entertain their audience. I am Lojou Naik, journalist at La Quotidienne de l'Avenir of Côte d'Ivoire. I'm very satisfied with what I see.
Oui, je suis Elisabeth.
I am Elizabeth Nogloa, journalist at Opera News and president of Women Sport Reporters in Africa. It's nice, it's clean, it's really adapted to our work. The connection is fluent and I have no problem doing research.
Outil de travail.
The center will be opened from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. in the night after the end of the last match of each day.
That's it for the first part of the news. Talking Point is up next. Tonight on Talking Point, I'll be receiving Joya Dalatu, a teacher and also a member of the OTS-led movement. Good evening to you, Joya Dalatu. It is a pleasure having you on Talking Point tonight. Addressing the concerns of teachers, the head of state said measures are being taken by the government to address the concerns of members of the OTS-led movement. An ultimatum was also given to striking teachers, which he considers to have an ulterior motives. So tell us, considers as ulterior motives, tell us, Cameroonian kids, and also the fact that Cameroonian kids are being taken hostage. Explain to us, why would such message? Did you feel guilty as a result of this message from the head of state?
To start with, we must remind that all teachers in Cameroon followed the speech of the head of the state on the 31st of December 2023 with a lot of hope and with a lot of attention. Following that, we the teachers who belong to the correct is the collective of legal teachers trade union that was created on the 21st of December 2023. We gathered to have a lecture and an analysis of the president's speech, and we realized that the threats that were made by the president of the republic were not geared towards the teacher in reality, because the teacher is not responsible for the ongoing strike. Rather, the teacher is one who wants to contribute to make the quality of education in Cameroon better. And the threats of the President of the Republic, according to us, are rather geared towards the person who are not putting in practice the instructions of the head of state, as he stated in March 2022.
Joya Dalatu, same accusations have come from other stakeholders. Do you suspect some of your colleagues of having ulterior motives?
We equally followed with a lot of surprise these accusations of manipulation. And to answer to this, the collective of legalized teachers trade union stands firm and straight to reject all forms of manipulations by teachers. Rather, teachers are brain builders. Teachers are those who give education to their young ones and to learners. And it's hard to believe that a teacher would be manipulated. Rather, the reasons why teachers stand to ask for their rights is the fact that the teacher seeks to contribute by so doing to ameliorate the quality of education in Cameroon. Well, because a teacher who is well treated, a teacher who is well paid, produces a good output, and this obviously contributes to beautify the system of education in Cameroon and the output a teacher could produce. So the correct simply proposes that the teachers' grievances be satisfied And the question is, we would see who would be able to manipulate a teacher. We reject all forms of manipulation. Teachers are simply out to ask for their rights. We do not want any other thing apart from this. Teachers are simply focused on their rights, and these are simply the signing and the application of the teacher's special speeches, the automation of career profiles, and the organization of the National Education Forum, and that's all.
Talking about manipulation, we were informed in a communique that members of the OTS-led movement have suspended their strike action. What prompted teachers to suspend the strike action when their demands are still pending?
Actually, teachers' organizations decided to put a temporary stop to the strike action in reaction to some of the positive ameliorations brought in by the President of the Republic in his speech. As a matter of fact, the President announced that 100.2 billion were made available for the payment of teachers' arrears. He equally instructed his government to open up constructive dialogue with teachers' organization and instructed them to take into considerations teachers' aspirations and preoccupations. These are some of the positive things brought in by the President of the Republic in his speech that have motivated teachers' organization to bring in a temporary stop to the strike action. And hopefully we expect that when these dialogue begin, they contribute and go a long way to bring an end to this strike finally.
But then one might think your reasons for suspending the strike action may be because of intimidations and threats. Given that what you have been advocating for have not yet been addressed, how true is this statement?
Yes, actually, many people believe that we decided to put a temporary stop to the strike action because we were afraid of the threats of the President of the Republic. Actually, we at the collective of a legalized teachers organization, we did not feel that the President of the Republic threatened the teachers. We have a different view of this speech. Rather, we feel that the President's speech was full with a lot of positive things for the teacher and not threats. For example, the President of the Republic announced the availability of 100.2 billion for the payment of teachers' arrears. More to that, the President of the Republic recognized the need for a teacher to work in conducive situations. And still in this same speech, the President of the Republic instructed his government to maintain and continue a constructive dialogue with teachers. So how could one believe that the President of the Republic was threatening teachers in this speech? No, we didn't interpret things this way. Rather, the President of the Republic brought a lot of positive things in his speech, and that is why the teachers decided equally in good faith to demonstrate their good faith to the President of the Republic by putting a temporary stop to the strike action, and hopefully we expect that during this forthcoming dialogue with the government we could find long-lasting solutions that could bring a final end to this strike action. Teachers do not feel threatened by the President of the Republic. Rather, we were happy with all the positive ameliorations the President of the Republic proposed in his speech.
Now, what better guarantee do you teachers have that things will be different this time around? Because we quite remember that this was the second phase of the strike action that was launched by the OTS-led movement.
This time we are very optimistic, and hopefully the future will prove us right, because for the first time we've been able to put together all the most powerful teachers' trade union. For the first time in Cameroonian history, the most representative teachers' trade unions have come together to form one organization called the Correct. And this time we will have the possibility to coordinate our actions and instead of being opposed to one another as it used to be the case in former negotiations, this time teachers will speak as one man. And we are equally very optimistic because the President of the Republic instructed the government to carry out a constructive dialogue. It means the President himself had realized that the former meetings we've had with government did not produce anything. And it means the President himself is anxious to hear a concrete resolution that we could have reached with members of his government. So hopefully, with this special instruction from the President of the Republic, we hope that the next meetings we will have with government representatives will permit us to obtain the various issues that are motivating teachers to carry out this strike. And hopefully, as I said, we will be putting a final end to all these little issues that are troubling the secondary education section in Cameroon.
Joya Dalato, member of the OTS-led movement, thank you so much for your time, and we hope to have you next time. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That's what put an end to today's edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Have a wonderful evening in the company of more interesting programs on ETV.